Before we jump in, here's a quick reminder. If you enjoy this channel, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a like. And your support lets us bring you even more great content often. Have you ever stopped to wonder just how many Best Picture nominees at the Oscars were helmed by women? Out of hundreds and hundreds of nominated films in the history of the Academy Awards, the number is just 23. Well, yes, only 23. It's a tiny slice of cinema's vast pie. But what's truly fascinating is watching that number inch up as more visionary women step behind the camera and reshape the way movies are made, seen, and celebrated. For decades, female directors in Hollywood seem to be working with the odds stacked against them. But recognition came like raindrops in a drought. It was rare, and when it arrived, it sent ripples through the industry. The Best Director category in particular sometimes felt like an exclusive club with a "No Girls Allowed" sign hanging outside. But bit by bit, that sign has been coming down. At this year's Oscars, only one nominee for Best Picture was directed by a woman, Coralie Fargate, with The Substance. That's all, just one on the list. Yet, rewind to 2024, and things looked a lot brighter. 3 women-directed films were up for Best Picture, including Justine Treat's Anatomy of a Fall, Greta Gerwig's Pink and Pop Barbie, and Celine Song's touching Past Lives. There have also been a handful of years when 2 women-directed films battled for the gold, usually making headlines and sparking applause. It's not just directors making history. This past year, 6 out of 10 nominated films counted women as producers, from gripping dramas like The Substance, produced by Fargate herself, to epic sci-fi like Dune Part 2 with Mary Parent and Tanya LaPointe on board, female producers steering some of the year's hottest contenders. While last year saw an all-time high with 8 women producing Best Picture nominees, this year's drop to 6 reminds everyone that progress is rarely a straight line. History was made again when Samantha Kwan, producer of the winning film Anora, became just the 3rd Asian woman to earn this prize. And Maria Carlota Bruno, producer of I'm Still Here, became the first Brazilian woman ever to claim a nomination. Meanwhile, Dee Dee Gardner, now tied as the most nominated female producer ever, remains the only woman to win Best Picture twice, giving those statuettes for 12 Years a Slave and Moonlight some company on her shelf. While 2019 still holds the record for most female-produced Best Picture nominees, 8, the numbers in other years have generally stayed below 6. When you tally up the directors who broke barriers and landed a Best Director nod, you get a short list: Jane Campion, Kathryn Bigelow, Sofia Coppola, Greta Gerwig, Chloe Zhao, Emerald Fennell, Justine Triet, Coralie Fargate, Lone Wertmuller, names that should appear in every Oscar trivia contest. And let's bring it to life with a few stories. In 1986, Rhonda Haines led Children of a Lesser God, crafting a love story about silence and understanding. Although the film was up for Best Picture, Haines didn't get a directing nomination. Whether still Marlee Matlin, starring in her early 20s, became the first deaf actor to win an Oscar and the youngest woman to win Best Actress. And then there was Penny Marshall, who enchanted audiences with Awakenings, but found the Academy steamier than most critics when nominations rolled out. Barbara Streisand wore many hats for The Prince of Tides, including star, producer, and director. Yet somehow her directing was left off the ballot. Jane Campion's Haunting the Piano found its way into Oscar lore. She was nominated for writing, directing, and Best Picture, shattering records and expectations in the process. Sofia Coppola's Lost in Translation put her in an ultra exclusive group, nominated for writing, directing, and producing all in the same year. Valerie Faris co-directed the quirky hit Little Miss Sunshine, showing that a road trip comedy could take Hollywood's top prize just as much as a weighty period piece. Some breakthroughs redefined what the Oscars could be. Kathryn Bigelow became the first woman to win Best Director for The Hurt Locker, a tight, suspenseful war drama that proved who sits in the director's chair shouldn't matter when it comes to talent. Ava DuVernay became the first Black woman to direct a Best Picture nominee with Selma and Oprah. As producer, the first Black woman nominated for Best Picture. Greta Gerwig turned her leap from actress to auteur with Lady Bird, later matching her own achievement with Little Women and setting records again with Barbie. Chloe Zhao dazzled with Nomadland, winning Best Picture and Best Director. While Sean Hedder's Coda swept hearts with its fresh take on family and music, becoming only the second Best Picture winner directed by a woman. Jane Campion returned decades after The Piano with The Power of the Dog, and Sarah Polley charmed Oscar voters with Women Talking. The current landscape treats courtroom drama, Anatomy of a Fall, Gerwig's irrepressibly pink Barbie, Song's wistful past lives, and Farjet's body horror, The Substance, all recently entering the Best Picture nominee club. Throughout the journey, several pivotal films didn't just collect gold statuettes, but also gave fresh faces their moment in the sun. Whether it was a young Carey Mulligan bursting on for the scene in An Education, or a teenage Jennifer Lawrence braving the Ozarks. In Winter's Bone, of course, Hollywood still has a long way to go, and but with every nomination, the path grows a little wider for the next wave of talent. And who knows, maybe one day the answer to how many Best Picture nominees were directed by women will be a number that doesn't fit on your fingers and toes. Hey, maybe the next Oscar milestone for women will be a Best Picture nominee with a director, producer, screenwriter, and every actor all being the same woman. Talk about multitasking. If that happens, there's a good chance she'll also run sound, edit the movie, and drive the van home after the ceremony. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.